Hello and welcome to IT Security Labs, and today we have another fun machine again, and thank you very much for joining us. We are actually going to be attacking another machine from Vulnhub, and this one is called DriftingBlues. As always, we actually have our Security Onion lab. We'll be detecting the attacks that we'll be doing here, as well as learning some ethical hacking from attacking this machine here. This is supposed to be an easy machine where we can get some flags, and this works very well within VirtualBox, so I encourage you to use VirtualBox because that's what I'll be using here. BT, it's good to see you, bro. Thanks for joining. I have my Security Onion running in VMware ESXi, and then the Vulnhub machine is running in VirtualBox. So as you can see, I've already tested and I'm sniffing the traffic, so thank you very much for joining. I will be using Kali Linux, which is running in VMware Fusion. So I have my lab set up, and the first thing that we need to do is let's get started here by pinging our victim machine, which is on 192.168.38.9. Let's see if it's responding. So that's our victim machine. I can tell because it's on my DHCP local lab right now. So today we'd like to actually just get started here very quickly without wasting time. Let me make a directory. I'll name it directory DriftingBlues 5. All right. Nmap -sv -sc 192.168.38.5.9. Let's see what ports are open on our victim machine. So that's what we're doing here. We'll be scanning the top 1000 ports. So that's what we're doing with our Nmap scan. And we'll figure out very quickly here what ports are open. And while we're scanning, let's check our Security Onion to see if we're able to catch that Nmap scan. So if I refresh this, if you go to alerts, you'll notice that from the past hour, we have 638 ET suspicious user agent containing security scan. That is Nmap being caught by our intrusion detection system, and we can drill down here to try to see what's being caught. And you can notice that Nmap does indeed get caught as we scan our victim machine here. And if we go back, we notice that we have port 80, which is running a patch in this case, and port 22. We can run a more in-depth scan here, TCP scan again for all ports, just in case. So we'll let that one run. But let's go and check port 80 here quickly. 38.9. What do we have here? It says that just another WordPress scan. So it looks like we do have a WordPress scan site. So let's do what we normally do with port 80. First, let's run a GoBuster and also a WP scan, so we can actually scan for more things here. I have a WordPress cheat sheet that I can use here to see if I can enumerate more things from WordPress. This is just an article that I reference all the time. Let's also run GoBuster edit to verify that it's just WordPress that's running using medium.txt. And this will just verify that it's just WordPress, just in case there's another site there. So we're just brute forcing some directories using GoBuster, and sure enough, we do have our WP admin here, WP content. So we do have a WordPress site for sure. And here's our login page. All right, so let's use WP scan to scan for enumerate for users. I'm using this as my cheat sheet, but this is how we can enumerate for users using WP scan. So WP scan, we specify the URL, and as enumerate, we can specify U for users, and this will just look for users. Let's see if we can find things here. And let's say yes. Juniper, what's up, man? If you're just joining us, we are actually just enumerating our site. We found out that our victim machine is running WordPress, and I'm running WP scan, enumerating users. And I'm also running GoBuster. Let's see, which I need to stop here because it's just a WordPress site. All right, so I did enumerate some users, as you can see, and this is the command that I just ran, WP scan URL minus E for enumerate, U for users. And we did find some users here. Here's one user, here's another one, here's another one, here's another one. And we do have users. So what you can do here is make a users list, and the easiest way to do that is to do this. If I can type here. So we found a bunch of users here. You want to make sure that these users are in a nice file like that. So those are the users that we found. All right, so now that we have our users, let's see if we can brute force, because we have some users. All right, so if you just joined us, we've enumerated our victim machine. We found out that it's running WordPress, and from WordPress, we enumerated some users using the command WP scan URL and enumerate some users. We can also enumerate some plugins. We can enumerate more things from WordPress. Here's an article that you can use. Checking password strength using WordPress users. This is one of them. I have a few things that you can use for WordPress. In this case, let me see if I can brute force for passwords. So WP scan URL and then usernames, which is the list, passwords. Yeah, let me see if I can brute force for passwords. From those users. But what you will notice is we do have a custom website here this time. This is just a normal website, a WordPress site. Yes, someone says having a cheat sheet like toolbox of weapons. Yes, you need a cheat sheet because I mean, the more you do these things, the more you want to just reference your own notes. It just makes your life easier. This is like at least my 15th WordPress site that I've attacked, so I sort of know my way around WordPress in this case. So the best way to do this one is we need to make our own word list. In this case, let's make our own word list instead of using roku.txt. We can use a tool called Cool to make a word list from this website. Then we can use our word list to try to brute force for a password. I did use roku.txt. It took more than an hour and it didn't find anything. So I'm telling you right now that the best way is to just make our own word list. So in that case, we do have our users here. Let's make our own word list using Cool. And to make our own word list using Cool, we'll just use this. This is how you type Cool. I don't know how you pronounce that. I'll use -m. You can use this tool. This tool will go to the website, grab a bunch of all the words that are on the website or a bunch of words from the site, and create a word list. You can tell it to go inside subdirectories if you want, but in this case I'll just use -m and say maybe 5, and then I'll go to the site, http 192.168.38.9, and then I would like it to be a bunch of words, passwords.txt. This is going to be a password list from the site, and I'll show you what that looks like. And here's a list of the words. How many words did we actually? So this is all the words that I've just created from the site. So it's not a lot, as you can see. I'm not going that much, but this should be enough for me to brute force for a password. If you use roku.txt, you will not be able to. It won't work. So as you can see now, I have my users here. I have a list of passwords from the site. So now I should be able to brute force using a users list and a passwords list. So let's hope that works. So when back here using my cheat sheet, I should be able to reuse this. All right, let's just put this here. This should be passwords.txt. Usernames should be users, and then it should be the 8.9. That should work. In max threads, we just hopefully try to make this faster. So let's see if this works. Yes. All right, so we are brute forcing every user that I found on the site using all the 1,000 passwords that I have. So this will take a while. I'm brute forcing for every user. So let's hope this doesn't take too long. But as we brute force, let's go and check our results. I mean, let's check our alerts here, because we are actually brute forcing. So I'm expecting this to be going crazy right now. Our intrusion detection system should be going nuts. All right, so let's check our intrusion detection system. See, all right, it looks like this is the brute force right here. Let's see if this is indeed the brute forcing that we are doing. Yeah, this is us brute forcing for the password. I can tell because if we go to this, we should be able to see us going to the WP. Yeah, look at this. We're trying to log in as user Gil and the password here. So we are brute forcing user Gil and a different password here. So as you can see, from a blue team or the good guys perspective, simple brute forces using WP scan do get caught as well, and it's really noisy. And this is what we want to learn as we do these labs in our own lab environments. We want to be able to tell, like, when you run these tools, what do they do? How can we tell when we're doing this? And in this case, we can see that we are actually getting caught here. So our brute forcing is noisy. What does it look like from Kibana? Let's change this to the last one. One hour. Look at the spike here. It shows you that bad things are happening right now. This spike here is from us just brute forcing and running nmap scans right now. And we can see the same exact data that we were looking at from the security onion interface, where source IP is going to be our Kali Linux going to our victim machine. So these are the two things that are involved in our attack. And we can see brute forcing happening, especially with this peak right here. All right, let's see if we found the password. Still going. All right, so we'll let that one run, because it shouldn't take that long, because we only have 1,000 passwords and it's at 56%. So we should it should be done here in a little bit. Trying this new user here. Now it's trying Collins. And for the cheat sheet, people usually ask me like, hey, how do I create my own cheat sheet? Or hey, can you share with me the cheat sheet? To be honest with you, this cheat sheet will not help you, because you have to know where these things are. And even if I give you this cheat sheet, you won't use it because you will not know that the things are there. You're better off using Google to search for these things than to have these notes in front of you. They'll only help you if you're following along with me. But other than that, you won't know how to use this. It only makes sense if you made them. All right, let's see if we will find the password here. So now we are trying the user Collins. Yeah. All right, now we're trying user Gil. All right. So as we keep trying, I would like to ask us to look at more of these results as well. Like, how would I use this? I like Kibana better than the security onion interface, but lately I've been interested in the Hunt interface here, because it does give you better visibility into everything that you have here. Let's look at the last hour. Let's remove that. Yeah, if you can use this, it's a really nice interface, especially the Hunt interface here, because you can sort by destination port. I find that to be valuable, especially if you are hunting for a specific port. But also just the ability to open this from here. I like that you have all the same metadata that you see from within Kibana, but in a more like refined way, so to say. And my favorite section, which is the network.decoded section here, it's really nice to read from within this interface. It's better, I think. And in this case, you can also see this is again the brute forcing. We're trying the user Collins this time, and the password French on the WP login page. So brute forcing, getting caught, which is a lot of noise. All right, so we did find, after a little bit here, a username and password Gil, and password interchangeable. So let's go and try that. Now that we brute forced our way into here. So Gil and password interchangeable. All right. So if you have watched any of my attacks on this channel. I've done this with WordPress so many times. First thing that I do is I try to see if I have any admin privileges. With this, I can tell that I don't have admin privileges as much as I usually do. Let's go to my post and see. Yeah, let's see if I can do much in here. So it looks like I can edit the post, which is nice, but I don't see more things here. Let's go to my dashboard. I can see the media, which is interesting because if you can upload media, you can try to tag reverse shells within an image, right? If you can try to add media within an image and see if you can upload a reverse shell, which is a simple thing to do. In this case, you notice right away this one stands out. every one of these is attached. This one is unattached, which by itself stands out. Why is it unattached? We don't know. Can we attach it? Maybe. But this one is unattached. All of them are attached. So we can try here to get a reverse shell by uploading an image with a reverse shell. Maybe there's a vulnerability for that. We can also try to get a reverse shell using the 404 page if we had access to that. Or we can try to publish our own new page. In this case, it's asking us to do this. So we published a new test page. As you can see, let's edit that. So this is what you do if you have access to a site. You do some random tests to make sure that things work. But in this case, after testing a little bit here, the other thing that you want to test also is if you have access to them, plugins, but I don't have access to those. So let's go to this unattached image here. First, let's go and click on it. Here's a link for it. Let's copy that image. So this is all we have here. If we get that image here, we now have that image right here. But what I would do is I would try maybe going back here and say, oh, why can I attach it? Test, select. Yes, we can attach the image, so it's attached. But what's on that image? We can run strings against it, which is not nice looking. So I need to get away from strings. Instead, let me use exif2. And in, oh yeah, Matthias stag hide. I like this exif2 better, but yeah, stag hide will also work. In this case, in classic CTF fashion, of course, SSH password is this. This is underwhelming to say the least, because we don't like to see SSH password, but hey, we have an SSH password hidden in an image here. So I guess this is also part of where you need to look into everything. So I guess part of being able to enumerate. So we got an SSH password here, and we got that from running exif2 against the image. We could have tried as well to upload a PHP reverse shell to the 404 page and see if that works. I tried that, it didn't work. We could have tried to abuse any plugins. I have a lot of videos where I do that on this channel. You can try that. It didn't work. I wasted a lot of time there. We could have tried to upload an image here by adding a new media. An image with a reverse shell. That could have, you could have also tried that to see if you get a reverse shell. All those are things that we could have tried. But in this case, let's SSH as the user that we got in as Gil at 192.168.38.9, and that password that we found here. And we're in. So classic CTF fashion. That's how we got in here. ls minus la. If you do that, we see we have bash history. I like bash history. Python simple HTTP server and which Python, nothing interesting, and a bunch of ls. But we do see that we have a kdbx file, keyfile.kd. What is that? Our good friend Google will tell us. KeyPass file. KeyPass file. It's a KeyPass file. So KeyPass or KeyPass, that's like if you use LastPass or those password managers. So it looks like a password manager. And these things are juicy because we like those things. Password managers, that's where people keep all their passwords and all that stuff. So we do have a user.txt here. Okay, so we found flag number 1. And we have a password file. So I'm more interested in that. Let's go to the password file because this KDBX file is very interesting. Let me download it local to my Kali Linux box. And for that, I have my file transfer location here where I'll run a simple Python simple HTTPS. I'll host it there, then I'll come back here. Let's go to here. As you can see, I don't have it here yet. I'll use wget. I'm hosting an HTTP server here on my victim machine, so I'll just use wget from here. That's how I'm transferring my file. .38.9 on port 8080, and whatever that file name is, this is what I want. Why am I unable to get it? It will help if I had the right IP address. All right. So I downloaded the password file, the KDBX. And if you look up how to open that file, you'll notice that we can use what is called a keyweb. In this case, I'll show you. Keyweb.info. if you go to this site here, it's a free site that you can use to open those files. These are KDBX file. So I'll use that site, this site here, to open that file. We can just do that. We can go to search home or search root in this case. Oh, you know what? I have it in my downloads here because I knew this will happen. I have this key file here. It's the same one. If you try to open it, you say okay. It's asking for a password, so it's password protected. What do we do? So this file that we just downloaded here is password protected when you try to open it in the browser. Oh, we need to Google again. Can the internet tell me? The internet might be your best bet. So if you wanted to read more about that file extension that we found, it will explain to us like, hey, how do we open it and all that stuff. I'm just showing you the steps that I did to get to where I am right now, because I think that's important. That one is a key safe, not a key pass, but here are a few options that you can use. All right, so once you look it up, what I found out on how to open it is you can use key pass to join. I'll look up Git because there's really good Git repos out there. I don't remember which one I installed. Keep us to join. Here's a Python module that will help you. Which one did I use? I don't remember. But you won't get lost by following any of these tutorials here. Even using this one, how to keep passwords using Hashcat. This one will also get you to the same place. I'm not using Hashcat, I'm using John, but it's the same idea. It's keepers or the other one. They're all the same things. In this case, I'm using John, but this one will also get you the same results. I bet if we use this one, we'll get to the same results. But I'm using keepers to John. And this is the method actually. It's the same idea. So what you need to do is git clone whatever this repo is, then do a keepers to John, point it to the KDB file that we have, then point it to the hash. Once you have the hash, then use John to crack the hash. It's that simple. And in this case, they're using Hashcat. I'm using John instead. One way or the other, it will work. John is the best way. So let's use this way. Keep us to John and point it to the file that we just downloaded. So I'll show you what we did. So I have this file here. So I'll say keep us to John key. Then I will put it to hash file dot. Extension doesn't matter, it could be .text, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. I already installed keepers to John. Now, if I do an ls, and I'll have a hash file.hash. If I do a cat hash file.hash, this is the new hash file. I can now use John to crack this for a hash to see if I can get the hash to open it, because remember when I tried to open this thing here, it's asking for a password. That's all we're trying to do here. So let's use John here. Because John now understands this file here. Word list equals to /user share word list. Let's use our good friend roq.txt, and in this case hfile.hash. Let's see. All right, so as you can see, it doesn't matter that I saved it with a different name here. John already knows that I already cracked this one. So apparently John remembers. So I need to just do a -- show, I guess. How do I show that what is John's option? What is the option to show the previously cracked password with John? Hey, John. Okay, thanks. I knew it's a show. All right. All right. Let's get this from the location that BT is showing me. Root /John. This has happened before. Yes. /John dot part is John's. There we go. Thanks, BT. So this is the password that I had cracked earlier. So it saves us a ton of time. All right. So that's the password that we had cracked earlier. And if we use this password now, thanks for that, BT, because I was going to be like, where is that password? So now if we try to open, where is that? Now if we try to open our key file here, using that password that we just cracked, we do see that we see things too real for okay, whatever that is. So we should be able to see things here. Can't tell if these are users or passwords, but this is something that looks like LastPass or a password manager for people. So we are able to open it. What is this supposed to do with our privilege escalation here? We don't know yet. So, but we should be able to find out here very quickly. So that's what we have here. We also see that we do have a .ssh with an ID RSA. We don't need these. We're already in here. We have a password. So maybe we don't need these. We can try to come back in with those, but this looks interesting. Let's go back to home. Okay. Is lost and found a oh, it's owned by root, never mind. What do we have here? Oh, that's where we were, never mind. So we really don't have other users other than Gil. In this case, Let's get more tools there. Let me get my lean peas. I want to get my lean peas there. So let's reverse the process. Lean peas is a enumeration privilege enumeration script that I would like to upload to my victim machine. And to do that, let's reverse the process. Let's use wget. I'll host my HTTP server from my Kali Linux machine and use wget from my victim machine. But let's go to the I always like to write in my temp folder because that's where I like to put my tools. What is my Kali Linux? I think it's .10. I think that's the name. Yeah. So let's stop that. If I do an ls here, and now I have my leanpeas.sh. This will tell me if there's any interesting things. So leanpeas will tell me if there's any interesting privilege escalation vectors. So we'll run that right now. And while it's running, we can also check our other tools. I don't know if I ran leanpeas that often here, but I always run leanpeas to make sure that we can see things. I usually output it to a file because sometimes we run out of space on the terminal here. And while leanpeas is running, another tool that you can use to check for cron tabs is pspy. I don't have pspy. 64. I always look for Git. This will look for privilege escalation, and you do also monitor for processes. So let's download this one. Let's download the small one. Let's save that file. It's probably going to save it in my downloads folder. Let's see. All right, so leanpeas finished, and this is how you use leanpeas for privilege escalation. It will give you a whole lot of results, and being able to go through these results can really help. I need to find configuration files that can be interesting, and you need to be able to go through these results and find out if any of them can help you with privilege escalation. In this case, it's finding WP admin. We already compromised WordPress, so it's probably not going to help us that much. Yeah. Interesting groups. That's not going to help us that much. I'm just going through the results here to see if there's anything that can help me become root, because that's my goal here. And it's giving us these results, which you already have seen. So if you didn't want to manually look at the results, this is what you would do with leanpeas. So far, I'm not having interesting luck here. That's where PSPy might be very interesting for us. But this is a good tool to have. Here it will show us if there's any interesting processes that are running, like ports that are open as well. In this case, we only see 22. Network neighbors. That's interesting if you were pen testing a network. This is just my lab network, which might not be beneficial in this case. For DNS information, yeah. All right, let's go to PSPy. But that's how we use that tool there. Do I have my PSPy here? No, not yet. Maybe let's try a different Git repo. This one. I just reset my Kali. I usually have this one. Okay, here we go. Save this file. Copy link location. Don't mess with me. All right, there we go. So here is our PSPy 64. Let's get this tool to our victim machine. We'll do the same deal. Python simple HTTP. You can use Netcat or other tools here, but this should show us what's running in real time on our victim machine. All right. So we can stop that. Let's make it an executable. Now this should show us all cron jobs that are running, as well as any interesting things that are running on the system. And I've used this tool before, so this shouldn't be a big problem. All right, so let's look at what's running as root, especially. So PSPy 64, we can see ourselves here. Let's see. Apache is starting as a queue. I don't see anything interesting here right now. So what I usually do is I leave it for like a minute or two while I interact with the system. So, oh wait, as you can see, it did something. I see bin bash ran such root key.sh here. So we did see something is running here in the background. Such root key.sh. Let me split this. Let's SSH again as Gil. Let's leave that one running on the side. And let me find the password. What is my, oh, I found it. So this PSPy this time is showing us that something is happening there. Of course, it's showing us that we just signed in, but we're interested in something that is happening here in /root key.sh. It looks like there is a cron job that is running here, and we're getting a key.sh. Remember, we also have that this kdbx file. So this is in /root key.sh. That's interesting. Let me know what you guys think. I'm curious where that is coming from, because I haven't done this part here. So there is no cron tips for Gil, but something is doing this. I'll guarantee you we don't have access to that. Huh. Isn't that interesting? So we have key file here, and somehow root is also writing a key.sh. There has to be a connection between those two. Root has access somehow to keys, but we can write to these keys here. So somehow there has to be a connection there. There has to be a connection there. Which is interesting. Let me see. What did I do? Oh, wait, let me go back here. I'm trying to find out how is this related to that cron job. Like, how is this? Because we do have a folder called key file here. Then general. No, it's just key file. Oh, wait. Let me see. I'm just trying to recreate this structure here, because if this is being ran by root, which I don't know where it's finding it from, and it's somehow tied to this file here, let's see if it's maybe related to this. All right. We have to find how these two are related, because this bash, oh wait, maybe it hasn't ran yet. I need to give it a moment. Oh, it just ran. That is interesting. I'm actually stuck here, guys. I don't know how this root key.sh is tied to my KDX here, because I know they are tied. So let me see here what I can find. I'm going to need a hint. Help me. Or otherwise, maybe let me touch the rest of them. Maybe I'm one away. I'm going to create all those files there and see if that helps. Let's touch that. Touch this one. Wait a second. Look what just happened there. Magic is happening. Whatever happened there. Holy smokes. I don't know what happened there. I might have broken, but I touched the next one. Let's touch the next one. I don't know what happened there. Oh, it's right here. Oh, really? Whatever happened there, it doesn't like it. All right, let's touch another one. Let's try this one. I think this is supposed to do something. I just don't know what. All right, there we go. Let's see. So it's not that one that gives us the terminal. I believe. All right, so here's the job that we are looking at. That's the job that we are looking at. I'm curious what he's doing. That's the one. Let me see here. I do have a hint that I was not trying to not look at. Let me see. Oh. I need to do it from here. All right, let me try again. All right. Let's give it a second. It should work this time. I was just in the wrong directory. When it runs, it should work. I believe it should run. Is it fractured BT instead of this one? This one. So there should be a cron job somewhere that is running in the background and is creating these passwords for us. All right, let's see. Let's wait for the cron job to run. Awesome. So give it a 1 minute to run, and hopefully we get our root creds here in classic CTF fashion. So I need to remove that one. It's not a CTF if you don't get stuck. That's my that's my motto now. Let's see. Oh, too unreal. Oh, Bash is asking questions. You see, it doesn't like what I have here, so it wants this one to be gone. Okay, so I removed it. Now let's see if it likes it. I think it's a very specific sequence, which is kind of silly, right? But that's the price we pay for these CTFs. Is if you have two files in there, the cron job will run it against the wrong file, then it won't give you the password. But that's what we get for doing CTFs. Hi Ken Beck, it's good to see you, bro. So now if we wait for a little bit here, in this key folder, we should get rootcreds.txt, and we should be able to become root. Looks like it just ran. Let's see. There we go. So I don't know how you would have gotten this without hints, and thanks BT for the hint. I don't know how I would have gotten this one. Kind of silly, but that's how we get this, and we are practicing. So now if we switch the user to root, we should be able to do that. I thought that the last part was kind of silly because it was a lot of guesswork. It wasn't intuitive. Like, you had to guess that this is the right file to touch. You needed to know that you needed to write it in this location. So it's a lot of like guesswork. It's not like logical things to know. So a lot of hints were required there. But either way, I think that was a fun machine, and the creator did a good job there. So let's look at the damage that we have caused here. In the last hour, what have we done? We caused a lot of 3,277 Nmap scans, 3,170 brute forcing alerts that we have just done. Yeah, that was just silly. WP scan was also caught here. Some of this was from WP scan. This says WordPress detected was 5 of that, but I think we have more in here as well. I think if we say 2 hours here, you'll see more. Yeah, so we did cause a lot of alerts, as you can see, because we were not careful on not getting caught. But as you can see, we did generate a lot of alerts. So I encourage you to really run these tools in your lab as I'm doing here, but also try to know what these tools are doing, because I think that's also another important component to that, especially when you're brute forcing with WordPress. Just be curious, like, okay, what does that really look like when you're brute forcing with WordPress? In this case, I think it's Suricata that is catching this. It's thinking it's information leak, but what rules are catching it? This was HTTP catching it. We can go to Kibana as well. Spend some time, get familiar with looking at the rules that are triggering. Maybe create some of your own rules as well. That is really good practice. Look at PCAP, generate your own PCAP as well. Play with some of these rules, and it's also super fun to see this. As you can see, this is just a spike of when we started doing some of these attacks and when we stopped here. If you see this in a production environment, then something is seriously wrong, of course. But in our lab environment, this is definitely fun stuff. So that was fun. Thank you for being here, and if you haven't, please subscribe and like my videos. Let me see what else did we do that might be interesting. We didn't get any reverse shells today. I like to look for those. Let's go and hunt for interesting data. What could we have done that might be interesting other than the brute force? Yeah, nothing really is exciting as far as detection is concerned today, other than the scans for WP. Anyway, thank you very much for being here, and thanks BT for the last nudge there, which was kind of silly. And I appreciate everybody who is here, and I'll see you guys next week. Thanks.